So, und weiter geht's mit Genshin. Ja, 10 vor 10. Wieder ein erfolgreicher Homeoffice-Tag und ich habe jetzt mal eine OBS die Begrenzung aus der Capture rausgenommen. Wird wahrscheinlich nichts verbessern, höchstens verschlimmern, aber ja, mal gucken. Mal gucken, wie das Ganze so ausgeht. Jetzt gerade hält sich noch in Grenzen. Gut, das letzte bisschen vom Event, glaube ich. Zack. Und ja, erstmal dahin. Ich überleg grad, da unten war nur das Luftding. Auf der Karte wird mir nichts angezeigt, also werde ich jetzt nicht darunter gehen, um das Luftding zu aktivieren. Ja. We found a new speaker. Und ja. Ich hab grad. Boah. Okay. Nimm's zurück. Die Map-Dingens macht's doch nicht besser. Ah, egal. Kann ich nichts erinnern. Park announcement speaker. All inspections of play mechanisms complete. Anemo particles in position. Hello? Hello? Is everything in place? Those abnormal anemo particles. They've all been taken care of, right? Well then, this performance of Skycastle Saviors, a play from Dire's 3-day reverie, will now begin. This story takes place in a remote mountainous area. The people living here are constantly facing floods and storms, and their lives are filled with hardship and misery. In order to provide advanced warning of disasters, a group of courageous warriors built an observation post on top of a towering cliff. Over the years, the lookouts on the high cliffs became a unique tribe, known as the Cliff Keepers. The speaker continues to describe the background of the story in detail. The difficulty in transporting goods to the cliffs made the lives of the keepers even more torturous, to the point they had not a single complete home to live in. The elder of the keepers turned to the miraculous architect, renowned for their expertise. They entrusted the architect with the task of constructing a floating town in the sky. The miraculous architect constructed a remarkable load-bearing structure, providing a solid foundation upon which all the town could be built. Next, the architect embedded tens of thousands of specially designed hot air balloons infused with anemo particles within the foundation. The unparalleled buoyancy of the balloons effortlessly lifted the entire town to the very summit of the mountain. The miraculous architect firmly anchored the town at a predetermined height, granting the keepers a stable and cozy haven to call home. Yet as time marched inexorably onward, accidents began to befall the anemo air balloons. The keepers soon found their town was slowly losing altitude, teetering, keine Ahnung, on the precipice of shattering into pieces on the mountain summit. A great calamity loomed, accompanied by tremors that shook the inhabitants' hearts as well as their homes. Oh, what a heavy start to the story. A floating town in the sky on the verge of falling? No, that's a crisis. Then let's take it seriously. Yeah, looks like there's another speaker over there. Maybe that's where the play continues. Let's go take a look. Zack. Ja. Gibst du mir jetzt Loot oder? Okay. Du gibst mir kein Loot. Aber ihr winkt mir schön zu. Gut, ja. Noch so ein Theaterstück-Ding. Wäre mal gespannt, wie das große Theaterstück in der Mitte eine Hauptquest vonstatten geht. The elder of the keepers meets with the miraculous architect and provides a detailed explanation of the crisis looming over the flying town. Miraculous architect, as you can see, each day our town continues to descend lower in the sky, and so we long to safeguard this cherished home, our haven of warmth and security. Regrettably, we find ourselves helpless to do so. In addition, quakes have been rocking our town with immense force. Naja, Erdbeben. Okay, nee, sie haben nur Beben gesagt, nicht Erdbeben, aber okay, trotzdem. Beben in der Luft. Ja gut, durch Wind, ja okay, durch Wind, von mir aus. With immense force, alarming rumors are spreading like wildfire, and a sense of panic is now gripping the people. Gripping. We are all gonna get smashed. We're all gonna get smashed to smithereens. Smithereens? Impolite mockingbird. Esteemed elder, I guess that you are worried, and I've been hearing some rumors doubting my project's quality controls. But fret not, I'm here once again to resolve this crisis once and for all, alleviating your fears and dispelling any doubts you may have. I just took a brief tour of the town, took a look at the monitoring devices I had set up in the foundation, and guess what? I discovered that the fault lies with a few individual lift balloons. It appears that the nanoparticles levels in certain lift balloons have dropped, as if they have been intentionally damaged. However, as long as we fix them, we can prevent the town from plummeting from the sky. Okay, so to restore the town to its planned altitude, we'll need to increase the lift provided by some balloons, and install additional fixed anchor cables. So I should say it's gonna cost a little extra. You see, in most cases intentional damage isn't covered by the warranty. No worries, we'll increase the budget to 5 times the initial rate. How's that? 5 times? 5 times. Oh my. So willing to add in a bit extra, that's wonderful. Wait, 5 times? Don't you think that's a bit much? Back when this town was initially constructed, your budget was already several times what other clients paid. I didn't mention the last time, but before. We ran into an exceptionally greedy craftsman. Seeing our resources, he quoted a price over 10 times the market rate. Luckily, we had been so rude, so rough. Was? Oh, ich hasse diese Wörter. So rough, so rude. Okay, rough, so rude. Nee. Ich weiß nicht, wie ich es aussprechen muss. So rude in our research and didn't fall for it. But as a result, we have a rough idea. Ja, das ist jetzt wieder, so rough, ja. As a result, we have a rough idea of the true construction costs, and your bid has always been far below what would be expected. So we were already loaded. You guys really are, well, good at keeping a low profile. We live lives of hardship so that everyone below can prosper. Everyone knows it, so they are quite generous. So it is, the neighboring villages have grown wealthy and often send us opulent gifts and donate vast sums. Although our tribe has been accustomed to modest living since our days on the cliff, and so we save most of it. Do such people really still exist in this world? Such humility. Regardless, I happen to be a master of cost control. I believe that increasing the rate by 2.5 times is more than sufficient. 5 times is a bit much, don't you think? I must say I'm truly impressed, just as one would expect from a distinguished architect who has been dubbed miraculous. Don't want free money? Don't want free money? Idiot. Hey now, you're a bird brain. I earn all my more honestly. In constructing this town, my quota was only slightly higher than the cost of materials and labor. This allowed me to build the finest houses while still having enough money left over to cover my meals for 2 whole months. As for today's maintenance service, if the fees are enough to cover my travel and lodging costs for a few days, isn't that the best value for you? The elder, who just a moment ago had been moved to tears, suddenly grew annoyed and knocked out a parrot perching on his shoulder. We are truly grateful. The keepers will forever cherish your kindness, and tales of your noble deeds will be passed on from generation to generation. Speaking of which, in our previous encounter, you had hired the Sotheby's caravan and brought hundreds of special storage jars. However, this time around, it seems you have arrived with minimal equipment and without any special preparation. You've hit the nail on the head. The primary issue at hand is finding a way to gather sufficient anemo particles to restore the lost lift of the balloons. That's no problem. This time we'll handle the anemo particles. Collecting them is our specialty. My people are well versed in using anemo particles to forecast storms. Let us, the professionals, assist you in this crucial matter. The elder selects 2 courageous keepers, you who have patiently waited on the sidelines. We have triumphed over gravity and mountain winds, effortlessly navigating the towering terrain. You are the rising stars of the keepers. Paimon gets it, it's our time to shine. This time we are skilled keepers and we just need to fly all over collecting anemo particles. That's super easy for us. It's a classic trope. Very well, then we will entrust this task to you. This may be more exhausting than usual, so we will be sure the rewards are commensurate. Working at high heights is no joke. Please be careful. Don't worry, humble elder and honest architect. Leave it to us. You two just fix those balloons while we go fetch the critical particles. Let's go, Nisha. Let's hustle and get the job done pronto. Just have to collect enough enemy particles so these keepers can keep their home. Keepers keep their home, ha? Ja, bevor ich in die Sequenz hier reingefallen bin. Moment. So, ich habe mal wieder diese Capture Frame Rate begrenzt auf 60, was ich in OBS eingestellt habe. Okay, hat nichts gebracht in dem Moment. Sag mir, das lag jetzt einfach nur am ersten. Ich habe es umgestellt und... Oh. Oder auch nicht. Mag er das nicht, wenn ich das on the fly einstelle? Kann das sein? Er hat sich wieder gefangen. Ja, es wirkte zumindest jetzt gerade irgendwie laggiger oder öfter laggiger als vorher. Moment. So, gut. Sollte wieder ruhig sein. So, Aufgabe bekommen. Ich hoffe, das ist eine halbwegs offene Gegend mal und ich muss sie nicht alle 2 Sekunden irgendwie lesen. Oh, wie vorne Stream Projector. Haben wir? War's das schon? Ich meine, die Gegend ist nicht wirklich groß. Fairerweise. Aber wäre schon so ein bisschen traurig, wenn es das jetzt schon war gleich. Nö. Okay. Was ist wirklich schon? Also ich erwarte jetzt hier einen relativ langen Abschnitt gleich innerhalb des Luftdings, innerhalb dieses Projektors, aber davon mal abgesehen, gucke ich an die Kiste hier ran. Weil ich bin jetzt eigentlich ja schon durch mit dem Ding hier. Einmal kurz hier so rum. Ja, nö. Da ist noch die Kiste. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob ich das Ganze jetzt feiern soll oder nicht. Mein Gott, es gab dafür sehr viel Text direkt hier zu Anfang. Ja. Nee, ist okay. Der zweite war der längste, der erste war mittel und der hier ist halt kurz. Passt schon. Hab dich. Oh, öffnest du mir jetzt da die Kiste? Oder ich brauche wahrscheinlich 2, oder? Von beiden Seiten einen. Mal gucken, ist hier noch irgendwas? Nö. Ich höre die letzten Tage ja irgendwie relativ viel Donkey Kong 64 Musik. Ich werde gerade voll scharf mit Donkey Kong 64 irgendwie. Ich weiß nicht warum. Ich weiß aber nicht, ob ich eventuell vor DK64 Banjo, Kazooie und Tui spielen sollte. Weil DK64 mehr oder weniger in Anführungsstrichen das... Oh Gott, jetzt habe ich wieder vergessen, wie das ausgesprochen wird. Magnus Opus oder Magnum Opus? Magnus Opus, oder? Magnus Opus. Doch, Magnum, verdammt. Nee, andersrum. Opus Magnum. Als Opus Magnum, seltener Magnum Opus. Aha.
Come on, let's get moving.
Bezeichnet man das bedeutendste Werk eines Künstlers oder Wissenschaftlers. Ja gut, das ist vielleicht ein bisschen weit rausgeholt. Das größte Werk. Aber ich glaube, DK64 war ja irgendwie nochmal eine weitere Übertreibung nach Banjo-Tooie. Kazooie war super. Das war Advanced Mario 64. Tui war eine Weiterentwicklung mit nicht Open World, aber Interconnected Level Design. Sprich, ich weiß noch, wie man, also ich habe es halt selber nie so weit gespielt. Ich bin selber nie aus der ersten Welt rausgekommen, traurigerweise. Ich war immer zu blöd für die Maya-Welt. Auf jeden Fall weiß ich noch da aus dem Let's Play, dass man irgendwann in irgendeiner Luftwelt, einer Wolkenwelt, einen Eiswürfel trifft, den man quasi runterkickt, weil er, glaube ich, keinen Bock mehr auf seine Frau hat, die neben ihm am Rumheulen ist, wegen irgendwas. Und er landet dann in der Lavawelt unten drunter und ja, lässt quasi den Lavasee irgendwie durch sein Wasser zu Obsidian werden oder so. Irgendwie sowas. Oder man wirft ihn auf die Eiswelt runter und er geht kaputt. Ich weiß es nicht mehr. Eins von beiden. Ich glaube, man wirft ihn auf die Eiswelt und macht dann in der Feuerwelt irgendwas. Auf jeden Fall, ja, sind die schön verbunden. DK64 ist in den Welten nicht mehr so verbunden, hat aber die Collectathon-Abschnitt quasi erhöht. Das sind nicht mehr 10 Level oder so mit 10 Sachen zu finden. Oder 15. Das sind. Warte. 3 Fabrik Fatal, 4 Galeonendingens, 2 war Azteken, 1 war der Dschungel, 5 war der Forest, Funky Forest, Kristallkaverne war 6, Kamikaze-Kastell
Seems all
7.
the other nights.
Ja, es sind 7 Welten. Plus, ich glaube, eine halbe Achte irgendwie, die nicht wirklich eine ganze Welt ist. Jetzt haben wir 7 Welten. Aber diese Welten haben halt 5 Kongs mit 5 goldenen Bananen. So und so vielen Medaillen. Die aber, glaube ich, nicht getrackt werden, Gott sei Dank. Zumindest nicht mit einem UI-Element. Das heißt, die kann man getrost ignorieren, wenn man davon genug gesammelt hat. Es sind quasi Krogsamen nur ohne Anzeige. Die auch nicht zu 100% zählen. Netterweise. Oder 101 sind es, glaube ich, in dem Teil. Ne, es sind sogar 102, glaube ich, in DK64. Und was war es noch? Ja, jeder dieser Kongs hat 100 Bananen. Quasi die 100 Noten aus Kazooie. Plus diese 5 goldenen Bananen. Also, ja, sonst waren es, glaube ich, pro Welt 10 Jiggies. Und ja, es sind also quasi dann 25 Jiggies. Und 500 Noten pro Welt. Es sind zwar ein paar Welten weniger, aber ich glaube, die Masse macht es dann doch schlimmer. Aber die Welten sind wieder etwas linearer. Abgesehen davon, dass man halt bis Welt 3 kommen muss, erstmal überhaupt, um alle Kongs beisammen zu haben. Das heißt, man muss halt bis Welt 3 kann man halt spielen, wie man möchte, mehr oder weniger. Und dann kann man halt erst 100% angehen. Und ich glaube, in Welt 5 gab es irgendwie eine Banane, die man nicht bekommen konnte, bevor man nicht in Welt 6 das Upgrade hat. Sowas hasse ich ja eigentlich. Aber gut. So, ich habe die Kiste, um mich mal wieder auf das Spiel zu konzentrieren und nicht über Donkey 64 zu labern. Ja. Auf in den Projektor. Okay, hier sammle ich weiter. Okay, jetzt echt hier in Level 2D Jump'n'Run oder was? Ich habe schon wieder vergessen, dass ich das machen konnte. Also. Das ist echt ein 2D Jump'n'Run jetzt hier. Okay. Doop-di-doop-di-doo. Und? Ah, da hinten. Es steuert sich echt ein bisschen gewöhnungsbedürftig. Wenn man fairerweise ist es eigentlich ein 3D-Spiel, was nicht auf Jump'n'Run ausgelegt ist. Dafür haben sie es ganz nett noch umgesetzt. What's going on? The last new part gets flat. Let's go after them, Monisha. Schön, dass du mich gespoilert hast. Okay. Hör ich gerade? Ah. Ah, so these three stole the last animo particles. Wait, were they behind the sabotage of the balloons too? Monisha, let's teach them a lesson and get those animo particles back. Das ist jetzt richtige... Abruptly appearing animo molecule. Think yourself as an actor too, eh? Zack.
Dodge this!
Okay. See the error of your race now? No more sabotage in the future, got it? But something feels off. Have any of you seen those three before? Could they be actors that Actorholic hired? Where's Engineer? Did Engineer fix the sea monster's mechanism? Hurry up and get the emergency team to the scene to handle cleanup. Wait, what? I'm still on the air? Ah, my bad. I'll turn it off now. Thankfully, the guests were able to handle the sudden emergency themselves. Definitely can't make this mistake again. So, jetzt muss ich ganz schnell, ganz vorsichtig sein. Diese scheiß behinderte Fliege sitzt auf meiner linken Hand. Au. Habe ich sie getroffen? Zumindest glänzt meine Hand ganz leicht, das heißt, sie hat auf jeden Fall Schaden davon getragen. Okay, gut. Can't make this mistake again, blah blah. After overcoming all kinds of challenging trials, pretty much all our name particles were successfully collected. The two keepers were so focused that they didn't realize that more than half a month has passed. The miraculous architect comes through in a big way, swiftly repairing the lift balloons in the town's foundation. The narrator on the speaker sounds a bit anxious, don't you think? Was it part of the show, or did something go wrong? Someone's got no clue, but it's probably not important. Let's get back to the play. The narrator mentions that we've jumped ahead like half a month in time, which saves us from waiting for the architect to fix the balloons. Let's go and meet them now. Ja. Also. Waren es jetzt alle? Okay, irgendwo unten. Boing. So viel Gerede. Welcome back. It could not have been easy peasy wollte ich sagen. Not have been easy. Please, enjoy a hard-earned rest. Bravo, bravo. You look around and notice that the miraculous architects already repaired all the damaged balloons. Once the new particles are ready, the disaster will have been completely averted. The other courts open, the other keepers will arrive with steaming hot food and refreshing drinks. The efficiency has also left the miraculous architect stupefied, staring in awe. You already completed the collection. That's a full 5 days faster than my expectations. No wonder the elders said you guys are pros. Now that we have enough nanoparticles, I'll replenish the lift balloons without further ado. Narration from the loudspeaker paints the following scene. The miraculous architect whips out a nifty gadget and dashes around, spreading the nanoparticles you gathered through preset interfaces to devices scattered all across the foundation. The lift provided by the balloons restored, the abnormal vibrations come to a sudden halt. The village ceases its descent and gradually ascends back to its original altitude, while the powerful air currents disperse the vast expanse of clouds. The once somber sky clears, and the town is once more embraced by radiant sunshine. The keepers erupt in celebration. Awesome, the town's won't plummet to the ground, and the crisis has been resolved. Time for a round of applause. But where are we starting up? It's all our imaginations anyway, and we are still on the floating town anyway. Simon's neck is sore. How about this? When we get the chance, let's find an expert to illustrate the story, or even better, turn it into a film. Also Disney ist ab nur in Stadtversion, okay. Paimon has a hunch that it's going to be a major hit. Maybe Daya has the same idea. I bet it's mainly budget issues. As the ground beneath his feet finally stops shaking, the elder takes a long breath. Feeling so moved that he begins to tear up. The town is safe, the town is safe. Fantastic, fantastic. Now we keepers can carry on with our duty. Success, this repair project went off without a hitch. And it's definitely worth of being written into a thesis. Oh boy, it's a perfect example that could even make it into a textbook. I won't have to worry about food expenses for the next 2 months. What kind of marvelous creation shall I dream up? But if I may, it appears that the town is still ascending, and if it surpasses its original altitude, when will it come to a stop? Oops. I may have been so focused on fixing balloons that I forgot to secure the anchor rope to counteract the lift. No need to panic, the town is rising at a relatively slow speed, and we can use smaller cargo balloons to attach the anchor. It will be a cinch. Cinch? Keine Ahnung. I see. I thought that after witnessing the success of these two heroes, you came to the conclusion that we could all walk up walls and live in the sky. Ha! The keepers aren't as mighty as that. Please address this issue as soon as possible. Ask for more money? Ask for more money. Earn a bit more, earn a bit more. Sure, if the elder would like to build a lavish birdcage and confine you within it until you earn trooper speech etiquette and business ethics, forget about any extra charge, I'll cover it myself. Despite the little hiccup at the end, the story wrapped up beautifully. Thus, as always, the troubles of the Cliff Keepers were resolved by the miraculous architect. This floating town in the sky will keep on supporting the Cliff Keepers, ensuring lasting and lasting peace and prosperity in the region. And thus, Skycaster Saviors comes to an end. Thanks for watching. Encore, encore, the curtains have fallen, and even though it wasn't perfect, Paimon thought it was decent. If Paimon was a wealthy merchant, Paimon would invest a ton of money into Daya's 3-day reverie and make every prop and scene amazing. Let's look into that when the opportunity arises. We need to gain a solid understanding of the financials before investing. Absolutely, Paimon hopes we get a chance to meet the mysterious Daya. Also nächstes Jahr. Hello, dear son and stuff. I have some exciting news to tell. Today, tourists have completed Daya's 3-day reverie and set a new record. We prepared a special gift for our two esteemed visitors and cordially invited them to claim the gift at the broadcasting station in the middle, blah. You just need to reset the key secret code to open the door behind the reverie. Did you hear that, Nisha? They prepared gifts for us. Maybe we'll even get to meet this dear person. Let's go to the broadcasting station now. Aha, und die ist wo? Irgendwo da. Oh, das ist die Hauptquest. Nö. Soll ich jetzt doch da hochklettern? Naja, komm, warum nicht? Wie kletter ich jetzt da hoch? Auch wenn ich wahrscheinlich von innen einfacher da hochkommen würde. Zack. Okay. Welche soll ich ihn finden? Den ersten? Achso, der das andere Symbol hat. Okay, gut. Jetzt habe ich es verstanden. Zack. Okay, gut. Die wären schon ein Stern gewesen. Oh. Ist da ein Stern? Ja, das ist auch ein Stern. Okay. Gut. So. Open Door. Explore the Broadcasting Station. Ich glaube, ich habe jetzt ungefähr gerade wieder den ursprünglichen Stand hergestellt, dass ich jetzt einfach nur noch so kleine Bildspringer teilweise drin habe. Kann das sein? Wow. Eine Woche oder so, oder 1,5 Wochen rumprobiert und nichts im Endeffekt zustande bekommen. Cool. Naja. Wait, how come we didn't notice the secret door before? Oh, power knows. Let's say the passphrase again. Then a new path will open. Together now. Okay, we did it to register in times. The disc appeared to have a little ceremony. With the clinking of machines, the door opens, revealing a tunnel. Oh, I knew it. A hidden chamber filled with secrets. Hey, ready or not, here we come. Aha. Hier oben noch irgendwas? Doop-di-doop-di-doo. Nee. Sag mal nicht, ich komme nicht hoch. Okay, hier kann man schön. Ja. Lass mich da hoch. Come on. Ja. Irgendwie. Das ist ekelhaft, so zu klettern. Ah, stimmt. Und Paper Mario 2 hätte ich auch mal Bock drauf, glaube ich. Jetzt, wo ich das gerade so sehe. Irgendwie kriege ich gerade Bock auf APGs und auf 3D-Plattformer. Warum? Hier oben ist nichts. 2 Minuten meines Lebens umsonst verschwendet. Ja. Das heißt, der Raum unten, wo es sowieso hätte reingesollt. Okay, dann halt die normale Hauptquest. War die Tür unten abgeschlossen? Discover the truth behind the curtain. Look for the objectives in this area. Ja. Oder ist das so eine... Nee, das ist noch eine Zwischenebene. Das muss die Ebene sein, wo ich das Ratespiel gerade hatte. Ja, hier ist keine Tür. Gut. Ein Licht. Lass ich raten. Das sind die Water Droplets, die hier mit Telepathie gesprochen haben. Irgendwie sowas. Hi. Wow, why are there so many water droplets here? What are they doing gathered around that giant machine? Paimon's confused. What's this machine for and where's Daya? Welcome to the 3-day reverie. Surely you must be confused by the scene unfolding before your eyes. Then those to demonstrate. Come on, Loafer, stop napping. Now, place 1, action 2. Let us give thanks to fate, dear travelers, for your wandering have finally brought you here. Is that a water droplet using the announcement speaker to play a recording? It sounds so familiar. Where has someone heard it before? It's the announcement we first heard regarding this attraction. It was playing this recording. You're Hustler, you're up. Place 3, action 7. The chief mate that appears in front of the new recruits is dressed rapidly, covered in bandages from head to toe. It is readily apparent that they barely survived an intense battle not long ago. Paimon remembers this is from the Black Nacra and the all-devouring Kraken. This is the part right after we meet the chief mate. Oh, der Typ, der das gemacht hat, ist gestorben wahrscheinlich und konnte es nie beenden. Irgendwie sowas. The narration we heard then was also played like this. What amazing timing. The Harum Scarum and Black Nacra are about to reach the pass where the treasure is hidden. Hurry up and prep the scenery and props, don't you dare screw this up. That water droplet is operating the device, Paimon can see how. Monitoring, broadcasting and operating the mechanisms. Those capabilities are enough. Correct, the function of this massive device is to control the timing of all the mechanisms in every play. Our diligent Hydro Eidolons are constantly monitoring the progress of each show, so that whenever tributes arrive at the designated spots, they hear the proper narration, and each prop and device is activated on time. As long as guests follow procedure, a fantastical 3-day reverie will play out before your eyes. Of course, if guests try to leave pathways to our behalf too unexpectedly, then it will really impact the enjoyment of the show. We just don't have enough stuff to handle things like that right now. Anyway, I think all the guests will behave themselves, right? That's amazing. We were having so much fun, we never realized how much was going on behind the scenes. So many props and mechanisms have to be carefully controlled. It must be really hard to pull off these shows. The design is brilliant. Great timing and teamwork. So, is this Daya talking to us now? Are you using these Hydro Eidolons to control the 3-day reverie? Why not just come explain things yourself? Almost there are so many questions for you. Correct, but there's more to it. Everything you have seen and everything inside this broadcasting station, including the chief director, fake playwright, loafer, hustler, and the Harum Scarum, as well as the other unheard Hydro Eidolon maintenance stuff, of course. Combine all of these and that is Daya. Not a person, but the entire system itself. Creator and controller of the show. Daya is not a person, but a system? Wait a sec, that's overloading Paimon's brain. Paimon knows that water droplets are smart, but can they actually design such a complicated system by themselves? There must be a designer behind the curtain, and someone to look over the scripts, right? Yes, that was the case at first. Your surprise is expected. Long story short, Daya's 3-day reverie started with the passionate director Zosimos. During his short stay in Vidura Mirage, director Zosimos poured his energy into putting on exciting plays, and never had time for anything else. As he spent more time with the Hydro Eidolons, he discovered their intelligence and rich emotions. Hydro Eidolons enjoyed his plays and looked forward to the next show. They also wanted to share their enjoyment with visitors. Wanted. Ist er wirklich gestorben? Das ist nur ein Abbild von ihm jetzt hier wieder. Oh Gott, wehe, das ist wehe, meine Theorien sind wahr. An idea grew inside Zosimos' head. Could Hydro Eidolons direct or even design a show? So both, it sounds like teaching a group of children to be directors. Indeed, it was difficult. Fortunately, everyone worked together. Our joint efforts overcoming all obstacles. Director Zosimos trained some of the Hydro Alons most passionate about plays, teaching them the critical concepts involved. After some trial and error, Zosimos wrote several sample plays with detailed explanations regarding the thought behind them. With Idia's help, he built the controller as well as all the mechanisms connected to it. In addition to the lines from the plays themselves, Dr. Zosimos also recorded lots of commonly used words that we could combine into sentences to communicate with guests. Aha, Pseudo-AI, okay. After a lot of practice, we finally learned to put on all 3 sample plays without a hitch. The 3 plays are indeed the Black Nacre and the All-Devouring Kraken, Petrifying Gaze, and Skycastle Saviors. That is to say, Director Zosimos prepared the foundation and infrastructure for Dia's 3-day reverie, as well as left the scripts with accompanying instructions. We definitely never noticed the whole thing was controlled by water droplets. That's quite a compliment. We appreciate you validating our hard work, and proved many of our ideas correct. This is the reason why we wish to provide you with a token of our gratitude and show you everything that went into the production of the show. Don't mention it, we enjoyed ourselves. That's right, we experienced a really special attraction and broadened our horizons, wie auch immer. We should be thanking you, Dia, whatever. Then we continue onwards to our next goal, writing our own scripts. To do this, we improve our understanding of plays and keep collecting new materials. The one called Fake Playwright here collects stories from visitors and enhances our ideas with those. Even if it can't meet suitable guests itself, Fake Playwright talks to our Hydro Eidolons about their encounters. Oh, so when we tell our stories to Fake Playwright, it helps you write new plays? Das ist ja echt KI hier. Exactly, if you have time, please talk with Fake Playwright more. Also, please continue to enjoy your time in Videra Mirage, and please talk more with the other Hydro Eidolons here. No worries, Paimon really love it here. We'll definitely provide you with lots of great material. Actually, there's something else Paimon's been curious about for a while. Why is it called 3-day reverie? Could it be that Director Zosimos spent 3 days on each play? Maybe like 3 days in total? I know this one. It refers to yesterday, today and tomorrow, right? Yesterday, today and tomorrow sounds reasonable for the Paimon. That means Director Zosimos, I mean all of Dia, is working so very hard on the plays day after day. Nice one. Unfortunately, it's not quite that deep. Actually, the true meaning behind the 3 days is plenty of time left to do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll really be in the zone tomorrow, and if I don't finish it tomorrow, I'm dead meat. Seriously? Okay. 26 Kamora. Okay. Director in Chief. Just covering the shift. Hi, I'm the acting director of this attraction. Do you have any questions for me? The water droplet is speaking. Wow, the water droplet is speaking again, and its voice is slightly different. What did Paimon say again? Your action is sexy as I expected. Don't be so surprised, and listen carefully. The sound is coming from the speaker by the wall. I'm speaking to you via pre-recorded lines. Anyway, it was Dia, who prepared these lines in advance. As for the specifics, you can talk to Engineer. His explanation will certainly be clearer and more comprehensive. So that's what's going on. For some reason, it feels like anything is possible when we are in the miraculous Spielecke Mirage. Traumwelt, Domäne und so. Why are you the acting director? That's a good question. It's because I don't think I'm the best candidate for the job. My partners and I were all more or less influenced by Director Zosimos, and we are equals in terms of talent. We are busy expanding our repertoire and polishing our skills. My partners often present ideas to me, and sometimes Fake Playwright goes over my head and just does things. But as long as the majority supports it and the show is good, then I'm happy too. If one of the others becomes more capable than me and wishes to manage the project, I would immediately give up the position. You're too humble. Shouldn't the director be more forceful? If you're always accommodating the opinions of others, it's bound to lead to arguments, isn't it? Oh, irgendwie habe ich noch Halskratzen vom ganzen Reden. Echt schlimm. Maybe this mentality is for the better. Group projects are complicated. Ja, sind sie. You have a point. If it's the result of careful discussion, then maybe you could put together lots of creative ideas. Of course, any interested guests are welcome to try as well. Perhaps one of them will be a better director than I. Like the two of you, you're clearly talented. Us? Wanna give it a shot, Paimon? Well, now that Paimon thinks about it, performing with the water droplets would be really interesting. Paimon will leave the writing to Nisha and focus on directing. Paimon will leave communicating with the water droplets to you too. You're really good at that kind of thing. Are you gonna make me run errands too? Are meals provided? That's not what you should be focusing on. Just think about it. The more responsibility you have, the more you can mold the show to your liking. If we are getting to turn our stories into an interesting play, you're the best person to deal with all the details. Shall we start discussing things now? I'm so fired up. However, producing a play is no easy task. You'll encounter all sorts of challenges. I suggest you speak with the others and mentally prepare yourselves. Director Water Droplet, that's so considerate of you, but you know, there's no need to be so modest. I'm certain you're a great director. Oh Gott, warum haben die so viel Text auf einmal? About the director methodology of for the 3-day reverie. Methodology? What methodology? Oh right. I was wondering about the decision behind using narration and dialogue to help guests imagine the scenes in the play. About that, if I'm being honest, it's actually pretty simple. It's mainly, we are broke. Actually, everything you've experienced is a result of compromise. I've only seen a few of Director Zosima's films, so I have some hazy ideas. I've encountered great difficulty trying to realize them. During planning, each scene only had a few lines, but many actors, props and backdrops, all of which cost a lot. In the words of Zosima's, money could solve any problem back in this homeland. In his homeland, but in Valyria Mirage, the only currency to spend is the labor hours of us Hydro-Eidolons. Consider the Black Nacre and the all-devouring Kraken, for example. If we were to recreate a full armed pirate ship, a huge mechanical sea monster, and even dig out a large expanse of water for the performance, it will take millions, maybe even billions of Mora. If we convert it into working hours for us Hydro-Eidolons, it will take months, even if we get all our friends to help. That much? Paimon actually underestimated the cost. That's why we gave up on most backdrops and props and chose to focus our efforts on the choo-choo cart in the final battle. That way we'd be able to give our audience a few unforgettable experiences instead of everything being equally mediocre and forgettable. That kind of makes sense. The choo-choo cart is the Black Nacre was Black Nacre was amazing. At the very least it felt like a ship and the final battle was pretty special. Ja, war ganz nett. Sounds like something we heard in Nero. What was it again? Prioritizing? Making compromises? Right, that's it. It's about focusing on what's important and necessary. Is that also why there weren't any actors for the dialogue or a narrator on stage and just speakers? It's purely because we don't have enough actors. Originally, we all agreed to go on stage as actors once we had completed our other responsibilities. The friend you saw in Petrifying Gaze was our star actor, trained by Zosimas himself. Actorholic. Actorholic even planned to give a surprise lesson, but since none of us finished our work on time, Actorholic was left as the only actor on stage. And shortage of actors and labor are two sides of the same difficult coin. And that's holding us back now more than ever. Könnt ihr euch nicht einfach teilen irgendwie? Auf 2? Rehearsing for a show doesn't seem easy at all. Being a director is such tiring work. That water droplet looks so lonely. Let's go comfort if we can get a chance. Uff. Wie viel Text hatte noch? Einen noch. About the other members of the troupe. Well, I really want to introduce everyone in the troupe to you, but ever since Zosimas enlightened us, we have each been busy pursuing all sorts of knowledge. Every one of them has formed a unique personality now. It's really way too complicated to try and convey everything over the broadcast system. Also, there's a lot of new words and voice lines that engineer hasn't finished working on yet. So I can't explain things with recordings yet. You'll have to speak to them yourselves. Hold on, Paimon needs some time to digest all of that. Did Paimon hear something about another water droplet? Voice lines. The director seems to be gesturing and acting out something, but it's almost impossible to figure out. Looks like there's nothing we can do. Director Water Droplet doesn't have the ability to talk about that topic. Let's hold it said and speak to the others. If we get a chance, we should ask engineer about the voice lines the director mentioned. Hustler. Oh, ich kann echt mit allen reden. Was ist denn das jetzt für ein Kack? Haben die alle so viele scheiß Texte? Work, work, work. Sprint to the finish. Go above and beyond the call of duty. Win early. Take it easy over there. When one task is done, I can start another. I will go wherever the need is greatest. It's just a little waterworld, but it's got such a scary aura. It seems absolutely in love with working. Just getting close to it feels like one will be dragged along to work with it forever. Did I just hear you talking about me? No, we never did anything of the sort. We're busy people too, so we'll be on our way. Oh, busy. You're really busy? How about you give some of your work to me? I'll take any job, anything, and I can learn if I lack the know-how. I love challenging new jobs. If you misunderstand this water droplet, instead of dragging others along to suffer with it, it actually does their work for them. So water droplet, what work do you usually do? Let me think. I don't think I have any fixed responsibilities. Chief Director asked for my help with controlling the show's mechanisms. Take playwright makes me run errands and carry reference books for the script writing. Engineer sends me to clean the rails. And loafers ask for my help making props. Sounds like you're a master of all trades. Sounds like an intern. Whatever you call it, I'm fond of using diverse, new and high-intensity jobs to hone my abilities in all aspects. In this way, I'm obtain an in-depth understanding of every aspect of a show and do them all well to surpass Zosimos, who only knows how to talk a big game. Apparently one of the Zosimos has led this water droplet astray. But given how passionate it is, maybe it will get mad if we mention the past. Should avoid asking about that for now. Anyways, both of you are important guests to the entire attraction. Can I help you with anything? Oh, Onisha and Paimon are still preparing to enter the industry. We don't need your help for now. Understood, then I'll be going back to work. Good luck. I hope you'll one day bless me with an unending stream of diverse work. Oh nein, bitte nicht divers. Der ruiniert Firmen. Ja. Oh, da ist ein Smite Drop auf Twitch. Abholen. Und weg damit. Loafer. Oh, two special guests. Is there anything I can do for you? I'm Loafer and I specialize in the lowest effort solutions. Are you especially fond of loafing around? Yeah, one would like to know too. Did you get that name because you never do any work? Hey, it's not like that. Whoever is controlling the play's progress or making the necessary props and scene elements. I've always completed my work on time. Loafing is a state of mind. It strives to achieve the most with the least effort. Wir sind seelenverwandt. For example, instead of making something three-dimensional, only the front and back of a scene element is repaired. So, in the words of Chief Director, it saves us a lot of time. Ja, 2D ist einfacher zu machen als 3D, würde ich jetzt mal behaupten. Kommt hin. Doesn't that mean it has no sides? Isn't tricking the audience eyes all we need to do? For example, slowing down the choo-choo cart right in front of a scene element, and then shooting off right when it's about to move past it. Doing that will keep most of the audience focused on the front of the scene element. Think about, didn't you do the same with the sea monsters animation? Monsters minions? Otherwise, our trope wouldn't have time to complete the more important scenes. Instead of wasting time focusing on the sides of the sea monsters minions, the completeness of the entire experience is definitely more important. It does make sense. From what you said, calling your loafer is a kind of compliment. That kinda makes sense, but it also sounds like a lot of baloney. Free your minds, honored guests. If you are like that, fool Zosimos and fail to understand the importance of saving time and effort where you can, you shouldn't bother with working at all. After all, if you seek perfection in every detail, the work will be endless. If you allow insignificant details to affect the main performance, you'll be killing the goose that lays the golden egg. Of course, all of this is based on the premise that there is a serious shortage of personnel. If we were to continue using such methods with sufficient staffing, then instead of loafing, we would just be good for nothing trash. At times like that, we should make fundamentals beyond reproach, then strive for perfection in every detail while still utilizing this philosophy to make the whole show even more impeccable. You've almost convinced Paimon Paimon will definitely give it some more thought. Hier sind noch 3, glaube ich. 1, 2, 3, ja. Harum Skarum. Fuck. It seems that I learned from before that was operating some mechanisms according to the chief director's instructions. But without a console of its own, it's incapable of speaking. It has constantly tremors of fear as if it has done something wrong. Oh Gott sei Dank, danke. Du hast noch was zu sagen wahrscheinlich und was mit dir? Er hat eine Anlage, okay. Painting, You're too sure, full of energy. Unfortunately, I don't have time to entertain you. How did you get so exhausted? That painting sounds so realistic. It's Paimon's first time hearing a water droplet sound tired. Paimon never realized this is what a worn-out water droplet would be like. Well, I guess it can't be helped. That's what you call an occupational hazard. Technical maintenance? Quite a specialized term to pop out of nowhere. What does this refer to? Could you elaborate? Oh, it's complicated. I doubt I'd ever finish, so let me give you a quick rundown instead. This broadcasting device before you is something Udea made for Zosimos. I hear that it was made based on some new research out of the academia. However, due to some design flaws, it works very well at all times. But it often has serious bugs and can be quite troublesome. Also, okay. We hydro-eidolons are incapable of speech, so we rely on pre-recorded voice lines to converse with you. All the narration used in the show is pre-recorded as well. I'm sure you understand why. Yeah, I understand the concept, but all of you still react very naturally. Speaking with you often feels as smooth as speaking to a normal person. That's because Idea did everything she could to find us a lot of audio materials, and she broke apart the recordings so each word could be broadcasted and used independently or in any order. Thus, we gained the ability to use this device to form sentences from individual pre-recorded words and respond to you. Ja, okay. Ich lasse es sein. Das ist mir zu anstrengend. Of course, we have pre-recorded answers for certain questions. Predict potential questions and prepare answers in advance for a smooth conversation. That's what fake playwright practices in its free time. You would say it is its hobby. It is its hobby. It is. Ist nicht it's auch schon it is? Ja, aber nur mit dem Apostroph. Ja, genau. Oh Gott. Fake Playwright felt it would help with its writing, but I later realized that it wasn't the issue, but that's another topic completely. Oh, so some things you say are made on the spot? You must have prepared so many voice lines. And if you lag a recording for a certain word, you have to find a way to work around it? Indeed, you have discovered a critical issue. This broadcasting device requires too many voice samples, and I'm in charge of maintaining everything. And everyone has been... oh Gott, das ist echt zu viel Gerede gerade. And everyone has been developing unique personalities lately, so even more voice line updates are necessary. I simply can't keep up with it all. Really? You sound way overworked. That kind of workload is horrifying. Justice alone isn't too much work for me. Problem is I have to maintain all the other equipment and mechanisms, like the device for the sea monsters, minions you saw. Just getting to the set of each play takes so much time, and yet I still have to repair everything that broke. It's all Zosimo's fault. He's the worst. Just because I showed the tiniest bit of interest in the equipment, he trained me to be the one and only maintenance guy. Ja, Full Stack Engineer. Schon hart. Why couldn't he have gotten a few more hydro-eidolons? No matter how fond you are of something, you get tired of it when you have to do it all day, every day. Home office. Calm down, don't be sad, cheer up. Maybe your troop will recruit other water droplets, and once you have more members, they'll be able to take some work off your hands. I hope so, but I wonder when we'll be able to find any qualified new members. I should go ask Idea when I get the chance. Und der Writer. Oh nein, der hat auch schon viele Sachen. Oh, leck mich. Hi, esteemed audience members. I'm Fake Playwright, one of the staff working on 3-Day Reverie. Can I help you with anything? Why are you known as Fake Playwright? That's a good question. It seems I have some explaining to do. Long story short, if I can't write anything appropriate soon, I'll be fired. Uh-huh. Wow, is it that bad? You make it sound like water droplets have strict rules too. Appropriate? What do you mean? Are you referring to impactful dialogue? No, not at all. Dialogue is the easiest part. Writing beautiful lines, fooling the audience into thinking the lines are something profound. That's something any hydro alone with just a few months of intensive training, or even a spectre, could do that. Uh-huh. But to transform a splendid section of the play into the scene before your eyes? No, that cannot be done without a careful division of labor and cooperation. That is the essence of being appropriate. Clear as mud. How abstract. Could you explain it in a way that Paimon can understand? No surprise there. It takes a certain amount of creative experience to resonate with this topic. Then I slow down enough to give you time to catch up. A good playwright must understand the troupe's limits and resources and write the script with those in mind. Even if it's the simplest of scenes, you must carefully determine the actors and props required. But as you can see, we plain don't have enough actors and our prop selection is relatively limited as well. So you certainly can't go overboard when writing the script, because once it's in the show, the audience may feel a deep disconnect between what is described and what is shown. My failure to take that into consideration resulted in me writing a few unrealistic and entirely unusable scripts, and it even ended up delaying the schedule of the entire troupe. Ouch. If worst comes to worst, then Paimon will just draw figures on wooden boards and use them as actors. Paimon can draw some props on wood too, you know? Signal the audience. He can set a few wheels on the bottom and move them around to display character movement or interact with props. If we slam them together and throw in some exaggerated sound effects, we can even recreate fight scenes. It will be just like when the Sea Monsters minions showed up in the Black Narco play. Economical showmanship, even Paimon can do it. No, absolutely not. According to Mr. Zosimo's book, that's one on the level of terribly unforgivable and should be used for insignificant supporting characters at best. Instead of leaving a few stand-ins for actors, which just stand there chatting loudly all day, it's better to just leave them out completely. Doing that, it only interferes with the audience's imagination. It fails to fully convey the scene. Ich überspringe das gerade in meinem Kopf beim Nachdenken und drüber philosophieren so ein bisschen, aber will dann quasi gerade schönreden, dass in Städten und in Welten, in Spielen A, wenig Dörfer und Städte sind und dass B, diese Dörfer und Städte relativ wenig besiedelt sind. Man nehme Weißlauf aus Skyrim. Relativ große Stadt. Zumindest größer als Dämmerstern oder wie auch immer das Ding hieß. Dämmerstern? Jetzt muss ich googeln. Moment. Das Ding halt nördlich von Weißlauf oder nordwestlich so ein bisschen. Mit dem Museum. Dämmerstern. War das Dämmerstern? Dämmerstern, Skyrim. Boah. Finde ich gut. Stimmt, da war auch irgendwas in der Kiste, die Items dupliziert oder Items halten kann. Als Inventar. Lagerungsort. Irgendwie sowas. Aber gut. Ja, wie gesagt, auf jeden Fall finde ich immer so ein bisschen, naja. Genauso wie halt in Breath of the Wild und Tears of the Kingdom schon mit den Städten, Schrägstrich Dörfern, die es da gab. Aber gut, es ist halt das, was man braucht. Braucht man wirklich noch mehr NPCs, die einfach so rumrennen? Irgendwie ja. Das war das war ja das Geile eigentlich irgendwie an den Assassin's Creed Games, die ich damals gespielt habe. So viele unnötige NPCs, die einfach nur rumgerannt sind, ohne dass man mit denen sprechen konnte. Es wirkte lebendig und real irgendwie. Ja, aber gut. Ja, convey the scene. It's safe to avoid limiting the audience imagination and use words alone to lead them through it. Fake playwright seems to be seriously gesturing and acting out something, but the speaker remains silent. I just don't have the words yet. So many lines haven't been recorded. I can't say them all. Fake playwright seems to be very principled. As soon as he brought up this subject, it just can't stop talking. High standards for oneself are a good thing. It's better than not seeking to improving. Anyway, let's stop for now. Otherwise, this might go on forever. But perhaps it may not be that difficult for the two of you. That's true if you think about it, if you think about it, you shouldn't be afraid of creating something just because someone might be harsh on it. Looks like Onis and Paimon are talented at this too. Or Paimon should say that we are made of the right stuff, though we haven't really started. Anyway, you're talking about has made Paimon curious about something. Did Zosimos actually read that book? Welches Buch? Oh Gott, mein Hals kratzt. Oh, culture playwright, can we have a word? I told you I'm just one of the stuff. It's like you're mocking me when you address me like that. Hey, aren't you being a little too sensitive? That's not what Onisha meant. She's always sincere. Forgive me, being sensitive is something that comes naturally to us artistically gifted playwrights. Uh-huh. According to Mr. Zosimos, sometimes people in the industry have been misunderstood or even ruthlessly attacked because they were careless with their wording. Ah, ja. Das schöne Cancel-Culture-Prinzip. Sag einmal was Falsches als Person, die im öffentlichen Leben steht. Politiker oder nicht Politiker, sondern hier Schauspieler. Und schon hast du dir damit alles ruiniert. Sei einmal nicht woke und linksradikal, sondern in der Mitte mit einem normalen Menschenverstand, der auch auf die rechte Seite so ein bisschen guckt. Und schon bist du geächtet und weg vom Fenster. Ich finde schön, dass sie es hier ansprechen. Ja. While such a demanding audience may not appear in the Valyria Mirage, Mr. Zosimos also says that whenever we create something, we must be prepared to receive the attention of a larger audience. And never leave it up to luck. We may have gone off topic a bit. So those are more my own personal expectations. You could also consider them suggestions. Hast du solche Wörter manchmal? Ich dachte, ich bin nach einer halben Stunde maximal durch mit der Quest. Ich bin jetzt in einer halben Stunde hier am Labern. Those expectations are way too strict. Are you going to quibble over every single little word? So if we create a show based on our own experiences, like the story of the Anemo Archon and Devalen, would people come forward just to fuss over things like, something like how disrespectful, how dare you make the Anemo Archon seem so carefree? That's far too presumptuous. Just level off. Creative art should be fun, not overly cautious. What? You've ascended to the plane of transcendence before you've written a single script? One of Mr. Zosimos' books mentions such a concept. Even if we exercise the utmost care while writing a script, we are bound to encounter many who we would consider are criticizing our work excessively. If you fear such criticism and dare not fully exercise your creative freedom, then you are putting the cart before the horse. In short, listen to what is right and ignore the harsh criticism. Such transcendence is of great benefit to writing scripts. It's a realm that all playwrights dream of. It is easy to say such things, but actually doing so is a completely different story. But perhaps it may not be that difficult for the two of you. That's true, if you think about it, you shouldn't be afraid of creating something just because someone might be harsh on it. Looks like Nisha and Paimon are talented at this too. Or Paimon should say that we are made of the right stuff, though we haven't really started. Anyway, you're talking about this made Paimon curious about something. Did Zosimos actually read that book? Welches Buch? Und wieso fragen wir es mal am Ende? We are here to provide material for you. Daya's voice says that we should talk to you and tell interesting stories that will help with your script writing. Oh, so Chief Director heard about your adventures from Idea? Yes, your assistance is necessary. But as you can see, the process of writing a script is very long. I'm worried that your stories will be so rich and detailed that I will fail to remember them after a time. Please use the device in front of me to make a recording, that way I can review it whenever I want. We're experts at that. Onisha and Paimon will allow you to decide what kind of material we should provide to Daya's 3-day reverie. After a short discussion with Paimon, you select some of the most... Danke. Wow, that's such a long recording. This is more material than I ever expected. I shall especially write a line to extol the great deed you have performed here today in sharing your stories. Nächstes Jahr gibt's dann die Archon-Quests alle hier als Play. Oh, bitte nicht. Hey, Paimon wonders what kind of show this professional water dropper will turn our stories into. Paimon can't wait. Ich bin durch. Ich habe mit jedem geredet. Mit dem Chief Director, mit dem Hustler, dem Loafer. Er hat kein Sprachgerät, Gott sei Dank. Mit ihm habe ich geredet und mit ihm. Gut, dann bin ich mit der Quest jetzt komplett durch, oder? Ja. Was ist hier? Achso, die ganzen Kleinigkeiten. Wind Upgrade O-Spirit Mechanism. Mhm. Ja. Boah. Das ist die Frage, wie lange geht jetzt die Hauptquest noch? Das Minispiel auch noch und die 2 Sachen in der Stadt. Ich würde sagen, ich mache dann trotzdem hier jetzt erstmal den Cut und dann kümmere ich mich um den Rest der Hauptquest hier. Sollte hinhauen, oder? Ja. 1 Stunde für das letzte Drittel quasi. Wobei, ja, 20 Minuten für das eigentliche Hauptstück und ja, sagen wir mal 35 Minuten für die Gespräche danach. Von mir aus, okay. Ich sag dann hier erstmal ciao. Suchen was zu trinken, weil mein Hals kratzt. Habe ich noch irgendwas im Zimmer hier stehen? Nee, das heißt, ich muss mal was holen gehen. Ja, holen wir was zu trinken, gegen das Halskratzen. Und da ist wieder eine Akku-Kiddy nebenan unterwegs. Ja. Ich bin die Erkältung zwar jetzt eigentlich los, weitestgehend, aber irgendwie der Hals kratzt trotzdem noch recht schnell. Oder ist einfach nur ausgetrocknet, ich bin mir nicht sicher. Aber gut. Dann mache ich gleich noch den Rest der Hauptquest und dann bin ich mit dem Ding durch. Juhu, wuhu. Und ja, noch 3 Wochen ungefähr halt bis 4.0. Uff. Wird spaßig. Vor allem, weil ich eigentlich noch ganz viele andere Spiele dazwischen habe. Aber gut, 4.0 muss ich mir gleich wieder in den Kopf setzen. Ich kann es einigermaßen viel spielen wahrscheinlich. Ich sollte es aber nicht übertreiben, weil... Wobei in 4.1 und 4.2 sollen auch noch Gebiete kommen. Oder in 4.1 und 4.3. Bisschen blöd. Gab es in 3.1 direkt die Wüste schon? Oder kam die erst in 4.2? Weiß ich gerade gar nicht mehr. Ist auch egal. Auf jeden Fall. Sag ich jetzt mal ciao und kümmere mich dann gleich um den Rest der Quest. Bis denne.